Wes here from D6 Evolution, and today we're going to be talking about Dark Eldar.
Drukhari.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But don't worry about it, it's stuck in the past, it's fine.
So, Wes is a big Drukhari player. Myself, I know almost nothing about Dark Eldar, so I'm going to ask you some questions and going through the Codex. So, what do you want to talk about first of all?
I think just give a brief overview of what the Drukhari are now. So, it's actually quite a complex book, I think, overall. I really love it, though. I love the way it's set up. But let's just break down some of the component parts of the book. So essentially, the Drukhari themselves are, the original true kin of the Adari that went on to lots of pleasure and excess, and they kind of they were part of the formulation of Slaanesh back in the day, and they continued that in the Webway. But within the actual Dark Cities, it's called. They're pretty much broken down into three constituent parts. So you've got the Cabals. Have you heard the Cabals at all?
I've heard of the Cabals, yeah.
Okay, so the Cabals are essentially like the hierarchy within the within Camorra, which is the Dark City, and they are the mainstay. So they're like your Cabalite warriors, your Archons, etc. Yeah. So they generally form the bulk of the army. The next faction you've got are the Cults, and they're the obsessions that fight in the arenas that cause lots of pain and death and feed Camorra, as it were. So that's kind of like your witches, your Hellions, and your Reavers, and your Succubus. That's that sort of element of it. And then the final bit we've got then is the Covens. The Covens are your homunculi. They're your disgusting flesh moulders who are change and warp Eldari and even alien races there to their own sort of needs there. Yeah. And there's one sort of final bolt-on, essentially, which is like the Blades for Hire. So that's your sort of your Incubi and your Scourge units and the Mandrakes, which can be added into any three of those parts there.
Yeah. There's quite a lot, isn't it? It's almost like 3 codexes in one here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is pretty much 3 codexes.
Yeah.
And what they've done, actually, they've created this thing called the Raiding Force as well, which allows you to take 3 patrol detachments. And in doing so, normally you wouldn't get any command points, but if you take 3 patrol detachments from this, you actually get 4 command points. And if you take 6, you get 8.
Yeah. I think it's quite strong, but from playing sort of competitively, you can't usually take more than 3 detachments, so unless GW make a sort of an FAQ specifically regarding this, it's probably going to have limited play, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think especially with the new FAQ dropping now as well, with the change to the command points for the battalion, actually taking 2 battalions.
Battalions got really good all of a sudden. 5 command points for a battalion.
So that's what I'm working on. Originally I was working on the Raiding Force, but now actually having that change has made me take 2 battalions in my army now, so that's 10 command points before you even start, which I think is really good. Yeah, so that's the Raiding Force bit.
Right, so tell me about Power from Pain, because that's what's really how what drives this army, isn't it?
Yeah, so the Dark Eldar themselves are pretty much the BDSM of the 40k universe. They thrive from pain and causing pain to people. So as the game goes on and more death and destruction happens, they actually get better. So not all units have the Power from Pain. It's normally the infantry units.
Yeah. So what things don't have it?
Vehicles generally don't have it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. So if it's a vehicle that doesn't have it, although there is an exception, and we'll talk about that.
But all those sort of monsters and all their sort of beasts, they have it, do they?
They have it too. Yes.
Yeah.
Which is
great. That's pretty awesome.
It's pretty cool.
Run me through the chart.
Yeah. So Power from Pain. So on the first turn, everybody gets pretty much a 6+. Ignore wound, which is nice.
It's not bad, is it? I mean, if you think about it, it's like you've essentially got a 6th more of your army, haven't you, all of a sudden? So although it doesn't sound like much, suddenly you're getting a 6th more survivability of your army. Particularly turn 1 when you don't want to get alpha struck. Yeah. That's pretty good.
The nice thing about it is it works against mortal wounds as well, so that's...
I always find when you save something on a 6-up, your opponent gets really annoyed, and that reaction is priceless.
It's funny, I was playing my buddy Dan at Warhammer the other week, and I rolled quite a few 6s. It was nice. So the next one after that is you get to re-roll your advance and charge rolls.
Ooh.
Which for an army that's going forward and doing that, it's pretty sweet actually.
Because a lot of it's close combat based, isn't it? Some of your
lots of close combat in this.
Yeah.
So actually being able to make that on turn 2, actually it synergizes quite now with the change to Deep Strike as well. So coming down on Deep Strike on turn 2 gives you a better chance of making that 9-inch charge, if that's what you're to go for. So the third one is a +1 to hit. So bearing in mind that most things hit on a 3 anyway, from turn 3, most of the Eldari force are hitting on 2s.
That is huge.
Yeah.
Considering how much Daki you have in this army.
Oh, sorry, that's just in combat.
Oh, just in combat?
Yeah, in combat, yeah.
That's still good.
Yeah.
But,
it's pretty
well,
good.
if we were shooting as well, that'd be horrendous.
And by turn 3, most of you guys are in combat that need to be in combat. So.
Or dead.
Or dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much
but the ones that are alive probably will benefit from it.
So then we've got the fourth one, which is you automatically pass morale checks.
Yeah.
Which is
it's alright.
Which is okay.
You know, we were discussing this earlier that most stuff tends to be in small units in Dark Eldar. Maybe there's a couple of units which will benefit from it if you run. What do you run big blobs of?
Big blobs generally the Reavers and maybe the Hellions, but generally not.
You see, if that was turn 1, that'd be really cool when you've still got that big squad.
Yeah.
But by turn 3, they'll probably be whittled down a bit. So
it has its moments. And the final one that you get then continuing for the rest of the turns as well. And I must mention actually these are cumulative as well, so you don't lose these each turn. These are additional rules that you get per turn, which is really nice. And the final one is the -1 to leadership to enemies within 6 inches of Drukhari units with power from pain.
hey, that's not bad, is it?
If they're doing a morale check, they're losing an extra guy essentially. And there's extra buffs with these as well that come within the stratagems as well,
Yeah,
which can
you can manipulate this table, can't you? Because I'm pretty sure there's ways that you can start off on like turn 2's worth of buffs and so forth.
Yeah, so there's various cabals that can actually increase it, and there's a stratagem as well which can increase your effective power from pain for that turn as well.
Because by themselves they're not great, but actually when you stack all this together, that's quite a good buff.
Yeah, and John, having played this Codex quite a lot now, I really enjoyed the synergies that happen. It's a very synergistic army to play, and it's great fun.
Cool. So that's pretty much the end of that one. So what are we going to be covering next?
So looking forward to looking at the cabals next and running through that and just breaking them down a little bit further.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you in the next video.
See you soon.